Today, we ask the question, is Figma worth the price? So today we're gonna look at 3 figures. This one is already out because it's mine. And these 2 are thanks to my friend Steven with a V. Over on Twitter, go follow. What are we gonna learn today? I'm not sure. We're gonna go over some basic stuff. We'll just kind of look at them as a collective to really just dig in and compare their prices with what we're getting in the packaging. Because I'm not 100% sure. My only Figma that I own is this one. And I do have a problem with this leg popping off all the time. Now it was used, it is technically an older figure, but this thing kind of like held its value too much. Like too much. And it made me a little sad when it wasn't perfect. So let's just get into it and find out if these things really are worth their price. So we'll just start here with Samus. And how much did she go for retail? Don't forget, Jonathan. So her MSRP was $54.99. She got all the way down to somehow $49.99 on Big Bad Toy Store before she sold out at some point. And this version of Link from Link Awakening? A Link Between Worlds? A Link Between Worlds. This one was retailed at $72.99 on Big Bad Toy Store before it sold out. And this one from Twilight Princess, this version, there was a re-release on Big Bad Toy Store. It came out for March of this year, actually. That's sold out, but that kind of gives you an idea. So we're kind of in a pricey price point. Whatever. So let's just go with the one that's already open. We're gonna start that, take all the goodies out. So packaging, this isn't a review of the figures as a collective, but we'll take a little quick peek. The packaging is nice. You get a lot of shots of the figures, and obviously these are imports, hence all the Japanese. Now, when you open these things, you get some basic things, but from what I've noticed is that there's gonna be this little stand that you can build. So it's like just a I don't know, cardboard square block that you can put your figure on for those people that like to have the branding around their figure. I don't. I prefer when there's no name to tell me it's whatever. So they generally include these little plastic bags, which is really a nice touch in my opinion, because you can obviously just write on this part, say what it is, and you got a little bag of all your extra accessories, because you generally get a decent amount of stuff. So they have instructions to explain what all the parts are in Japanese, and I think maybe to show you how things attach and stuff, which is nice. So we don't really seem to do that with a lot of brands that are kind of created here in the US, but I've seen it with some Japanese brands. So you get these little like base plates that come with peg holes so you can put your extra hands into them, which is really neat. So normally, you know, you just got like a little, well, in this case, you could have a little baggie of extra hands, but this is a really cool way to keep everything together. Now, some pieces like this, they don't have a way to connect, which is fine at the end of the day. They also will come with a base of some sort. And as you can see, downside is you're gonna get a hole in their back for stands like this. But at the same time, it's kind of nicer than having a claw hand that covers them up if you're looking at them from the front. Not a lot of people are displaying them from the back, right? So with this figure specifically, you get the hand plus these 4 extra hands, and this goes on the front of the gun. So this whole section comes out, the blast comes out, and then you can actually put this thing in to have a different appearance depending on what kind of blast look that you're trying to have. This is specifically from Other M, this model, which tells you right there. I didn't need to tell you that. And it comes with her in the morph ball form, which is, it's fine. It's a nice, cool extra accessory. You never really think about what that looks like in scale comparison to her. But this is obviously really about her. And as a collective, I mean, she's got some great articulation. Like I mentioned, the hip, this side always pops out, but the left side has been fine. And I'm not really sure if that's just a defective thing or if it's common with this brand. So there's a lot of articulation pieces, but I'd like to get everything out of the boxes and then just kind of look at them as a collective. So I'll be right back. So $55, $73, $88 based on Big Bad Toy Store prices. So I think you're getting more as the prices have gone up. It seems like, at least between the 2 of these. This belongs over here. this section and this section. Now, I am a fan of Legend of Zelda. I am a fan of Metroid games, but I did not play this one, and I did not play this one. But, I mean, there's Zelda figures. There's a lot of things, right, that we see across all of them, like the shield and the sword. So let's just kind of dig into it. Obviously, we've got stands in here and the hands. We've got hands and stands. Hand stands, stands, hands. Handstand stands. Now, I don't know what any of this is, but I love it. It's really got that style, the look, and like the textures and stuff that really looks like Breath of the Wild too, which is cool. I like that. So we'll just start over here with Samus and kind of look at some basic stuff. So she's got a lot of segments of articulation, as you can see across. The shoulder pads also have articulation, so they help with arms getting, you know, into position without causing too many problems. You can get a lot more than you would, I think, expect, but there are definitely some limitations. The joints are very soft. Now, they stay in position, so they're not loose and they're not really tight, but they are soft. I think that's the best way to explain her articulation. So what she comes with is, so 2 pieces that can go into her arm gun. I don't know what that is. 2 blast effects. The ball, which I think is really just kind of like, whatever. You could do without that, right? I'd rather have some extra other stuff, like missiles or something to shoot out. She's got her extra hands. So you still get some nice stuff. This is a good figure. It's beautiful. Again, the paint, which we didn't really talk about, but the metallic paint and stuff looks really nice. If her retail price from Big Bad Toy Store, as it shows now, is correct, then that, I think, is a great price. Now, this link from A Link Between Worlds comes with an alternate faceplate, this little shell thing, which I'm sure is very specific to that game. Anybody that plays that probably knows exactly that character is. You have this, which looks kind of like maybe it was a grappling hook for that game. I don't know. We've got some kind of magic wand for magic. That's convenient. We have this little stand, which will be used to hold the bomb up. And I love, well, maybe. Is that what it's designed for? Or this? They both have peg holes. That's really cool. That is a cool way to set up one of the rupees. I like that. Of course, it probably goes this way, so it's centered better. But that's cool. The bomb, it has a hole, but maybe that's enough to get it to stand. Yes, so that's nice. I mean, classic Link tools. You got a vase, which just is as it is. You can't break it. You can try. And we got this piece, which I'm gonna guess, yep, goes out like that. So now you got his hook shot or whatever is in that game. So you're getting some nice stuff. This is a good looking figure. The sword looks awesome. It's got that metallic paint similar to what we saw with Samus. So the blade, the colors here, this is really good. And then you've got the shield, which also looks nice. It's got some matte finish stuff and then some shimmer or metallic finish to the gold and the silver, which is nice. Looks good. Come on. Can't beat that. You get all these extra hands. I mean, come on, guys. What do you want? So this is a good setup. You're getting plenty of hands to do different things. You can have him hold a bomb. You can hold the sword, the shield. You got a stance. It's the same setup. You're going to have a hole in his back, which does get covered up by his hat, which is great. His cap, rather. But the joints on this thing, again, just like Samus, they feel soft. They do not feel tight or loose. The downside is that they use the ball style joints. The good part of that is that you kind of have like endless articulation with stuff like that. So you could turn the ball joints and have like, you know, pointing. If you're going to have a sword in his hand, you can have him point it, or you just turn it and have your standard hinge. So there are good sides and downsides to ball joints. So it's kind of endless where things turn, which is really cool. He's got waist. Everything is, these are all soft, not soft goods, but like a soft plastic. So it flexes, allows for some nice articulation. This is a really fun figure to pose. You don't feel like anything is going to break. You kind of feel confident that you can get whatever look and style or pose or whatever out of this figure, which I love. And then the fact it comes with another face, very, very cool. And these faceplates just pop off like that, which is a little terrifying. So there you go. Now you got him ready for fighting. This is very nice to hold. It's very soft touch, which is cool. So this matte finish is very soft. I'm very much a fan of this thing. Kind of starting to be sad that this isn't mine. That I have to give it back to my friend because I want it. Come on, give it to this guy. I hope you can't hear the cat scratching into the litter box. All right, now this Link, we're going into a little bit more realism, and his face looks so stupid. What happened? This is an older game, I think, but this Link looks so bad. Is this kind of like Super 7 going from like, they can do a really good job with animated figures, but then when it comes to realistic looking stuff, come on. But when it comes to realistic looking stuff, they just can't? I mean, there's a sloppy paint job on his mouth, like the paint in his hole. His hole. He's got a sloppy hole. But this one is clearly done in a more realistic style. This is the Twilight Princess. This is the one with the wolf in it, or whatever. I don't know. My mom played it. Unfortunately, I do not feel the same way about this one as I do this Link. This, I'm in love with. This one, it feels like a cheap knockoff. Like, look at this fat behind the back of his knees. It's like he's got rollerblade wheels for kneecaps. What happened? Oh my God, look at that neck articulation. Jesus. This is the one that comes back up for pre-order? Oh my God, it's so awful. Let's trade his face out. Maybe it won't be as bad. Oh, I am not a fan of this so far. Ugh, it's a much better looking face. It honestly makes a huge difference in the way he looks. This is a stupid neck joint. It goes backwards. You have to pull his face off. His face off! And put the whole, look at, what a weird approach. Are these the same people? Do they have an A team and a B team? Because this is B team for sure. It's like Activision versus Treyarch. That's a Call of Duty reference. So let's just try to give this thing another chance with the better face, because it's substantially more appealing with that face. One thing I do want to point out about all of them is that they have toy articulation. No crap. They have toe articulation. Even this little guy. That is one of my favorite things of articulation to have on a figure, because it changes up the posing that you can get out of them so much, and you can really get that intense like battle stance, right? You can get a good running stance or something, and obviously if you have a stand like this that just plugs into their back, which this isn't his, so it doesn't fit, that allows them to have really any kind of dynamic pose you want in the air or whatever. It's super cool. Yeah, I don't know. They tried to go for the more realistic look, which, you know, was a low quality game when it came out, just compared to these days. Obviously it was a step forward in quality and stuff, but this isn't good. This is not good. It's stupid. He has no chin. But the accessories look really cool. So like this thing looks awesome. Grappling hook, but another what is it? Hook shot or whatever. I do enjoy that this is multi-purpose, you know, where you just swap out the pieces. So accessories look really nice. And you know what? Let's look at the instructions for this Link. So what's really cool about this brand is that they include these instructions so you can see that, hey, you can flip things, you can choose if you want to have his this sword, the Master Sword, or just the basic sword. You can have that set up, flip-flop those things out, how you take this apart to get it on his arms, on his back, and this one. So here, you get a list of all your parts, you get another how to use of everything, so that's definitely good to know, right? You don't want to just start forcing things or getting weird. You can actually just separate the blade from the handle to go into the hand, which is a very smart approach. And same thing that's going on over here. And the arrow can lock into specific set of hands, so it looks like he's drawing it back, which is really nice. So if you're gonna set him up with this bow and arrow, he can actually hold it and set it up in a way that actually makes sense. So he comes with fists, he comes with gripping hands for the bow, he comes with the hand for the arrow, which is the two fingers here, and of course stuff to hold his sword and shield. So this is a nice set of stuff. You get really a ton of accessories, which is always appreciated. But what I am having a problem with is the look of this one overall. Even the paint on this thing looks cheap. Look at that. The overspray of the gold looks awful. This looks like really, really low quality stuff. Like, is this made by Hasbro all of a sudden? I thought it was Figma. They made these two great figures. So a little disappointing overall on quality and look of this Link, but I like the accessories overall. The amount of stuff you get, that's just awful. So you'd really want to just use the default stuff. But looking at his joints and stuff, so he feels loose. This arm on this side feels like you would put a shield or something on it, it's just gonna fall immediately. So his quality overall has been diminishing. Maybe he'll look good on the shelf, but he's also the priciest figure out of the bunch, and I just can't let that drop. He looks so stupid. So, I think this is a really good setup of comparison? I think this is a good setup to compare the 3 different price ranges. If I don't know, I mean, is that normal for them? But these two, I would say, are absolutely worth the price. Samus, if it was really $55 or whatever when it came out, then all day long. This is great. This is so much better than some other figures in that price range. You get some perfect, I got a cat in a plastic bag over here, making lots of noise. You know what, we're just gonna power through it, but maybe it won't get picked up on this microphone. So I think the Samus is great. The joints just feel really good. Again, mine just has an issue where this leg just kind of pops out sometimes when I'm doing different poses like that. And I don't know if that's like a consistent concern or it just happens to be this one. And again, this one I bought, it was used. So maybe it just got wore out. But it's beautiful. The paint work is great. I don't really have any concerns with the imperfections or anything. The stand is nice. The accessories are great. You don't need a whole lot of hands for Samus. The only thing I would change is to, you know, maybe get rid of the morph ball and give me some other blasts. I'd love to have like the super missiles, the regular missiles would be really cool. Or if possible, some extra charged up blast. Now this Link, he's perfect. He is super cute. He's tiny. He looks like his cartoon face. You know, this one, I don't know what's going on, but this looks great. It's really, really nice. And the movement, the motion, the articulation, I guess is the word I'm looking for, is wonderful. I would just have such a blast playing with this guy, and all day long I will pay that price for this one. I think he's super cool. The accessories you get are perfect. I don't know enough about this guy, but I'm sure it holds some weight for anybody that played that game, A Link Between Worlds. The hook shot is pretty cool, and it's a nice way, instead of having the actual chain, to have this thing look like it's in motion. A perfect little bomb. You gotta have those with Link. The shield, the paint work looks really good on this one, and his sword looks great. It's superior to this one, which costs more. But I can't say enough good things about this one. I love it. The stand, the hands, I really want this one for myself, honestly. I'm a bit bummed, so I'm gonna have to ask my friend if I can have it. But these two, at these price points, yes, Figma is worth it. These are beautiful figures. They're done very, very well, and you're not really missing out on anything that you could possibly want. The color, the paint, the sculpt work, the articulation, you just got to get past these little ball joints, which I think, you know, if for a lot of poses with fighting figures like this, it's gonna look great. This one, it's a hunk of junk. I would not recommend this by any means. And if the series number, which is 320 on this, if that means they've released that many things, I don't know how the series numbers work, because that's the EX or something, whatever. If this is the newest one, it's a piece of crap. Don't even bother. Do not buy this thing. Save your money and see if whatever they make for Breath of the Wild or whatever looks better. If it's got this kind of look, buy it all day long. And if it's got this price point, absolutely buy 2 of them. Why wouldn't you? And then send one to me. I'll take it. But that junk, get it off the table. Don't want it. Poopy poop. Poop. But these two, yeah, love them. So is Figma worth the price? Maybe. I guess that's how we end this one. It depends on what you buy. Well, that's disappointing. But the odds are 2 out of 3. Yes, 2 out of 3. The Nostalgia Boys recommend Figma. But that 1 of 3 doesn't. Is that how stats work? I guess at the end of the day, majority rules buy a Figma figure, but not that one. What do you have in your collection from Figma? Please let me know down in the comments. I love seeing what people are collecting. Maybe there's something out there that I really need to look at, so let me know and I will check it out. And for fans of this channel, I did start a membership thing. It's on Ko-fi, so it's like Patreon, but that's where I've been offering all of my prints, the free ones and the ones you can pay for, but there are membership options there. So I will link those down in the description. Jump over there, see which membership works for you. We'll have things like Zoom chats together, just us, members and me. Private things, these won't be on, it's not that kind of private, but it's not gonna be put on YouTube. It's just a monthly hangout. There's some other stuff you'll get, like discounts on store items or whatever. So head over there, become a member, and then we'll have good times together. That's the slogan. Become a member, have good times together. But I want to thank you so much for coming along and watching this video. And if you're enjoying the stuff and you want to see like an actual full unboxing and breakdown and all that stuff, then watch this video here. And we'll see you next time.